Hey, Micah from the Common Sense Show, and you're here for another episode of Common Sense Reacts. And this episode of Shark Tank that I'm going to be reacting to is called, I think it's called Just the Cheese, is the company. Remember that I have not seen these videos in advance. I basically search for Shark Tank pitches and then I save them, and then I don't look at them until actually right now. And I try to predict what's going on and explain in an educational way what you could do to make your pitch better if you're pitching to an investor, just in general, make your business better, and what I think that the investors are thinking about. I am the CEO of both a startup and a founder of two different companies at the moment, and I want to just give you my perspective on what I'm seeing. So let's get cracking with with just the cheese video. All right, here we go.
My name is David Sharfman, and I'm from Madison, Wisconsin. I grew up in a family of cheesemakers. My mom and dad bought a little cheese company in 1991. Growing up around a cheese company was a lot of fun. I got to go out on demos selling cheese.
It was probably really funky in their warehouse.
Handing out samples. When I was 16, I started working in the factory, doing jobs that no one else wanted to do. My dad wanted everyone to know that I wasn't getting any special treatment. Eventually, I graduated into sales jobs that didn't require a hairnet. I loved working at my parents' cheese company, but I wanted to set out on my own path.
Listen, people love cheese.
I tried my hand at bringing Wisconsin cheese to Asia, but that ultimately failed. So then I tried to make Wisconsin cheese in Asia, and that also failed. I applied to business school. After I graduated, I became a consultant in New York City. Ultimately wanted to be back in small business, and that's when my wife and I had a great idea. And all roads lead back to cheese. I need investment from the sharks to get more people to try my product. As soon as people try it, they love it, they keep buying it. My family and I have invested over $1 million in this. If this product fails, a lot of people will lose their jobs. A lot of people will lose money. It's important for me to make sure I justify the risk my dad took on me. I want to make him proud and turn this risk into a huge success.
All right, here we go. No free advertising on the Common Sense Show. This guy is all about the cheese.
Oh.
Look at him.
Cheesehead.
Hi, my name is David Sharfman, and I'm the owner of Just the Cheese, and I'm asking for $500,000 for 5% of my business.
Ooh, wow. That's a big valuation there, Buster.
$500,000 is a lot of cheddar.
Very corny.
And you're right, but our business is cheese, our cheese is delicious, and our business is booming. You know when you make a grilled cheese sandwich?
All right, here's the thing. Cheese is boring. But if it's profitable, that's what they're going to go to. So he cannot be too corny or long on this pitch. Got to get right into it after a decent introduction. Let's see if he does.
Best part is the cheese that melts off into the pan and gets crunchy. Well, most people look at that and think, man, I wish I could eat just the cheese. Since we're a family of cheesemakers, we look at it and think, how can we turn that into a snack bar? So let me show you how we do it. First, we start with Wisconsin milk.
Not bad. Not too long.
Make our own fresh cheese in-house. Shred it just a little bit into a cookie cutter mold. Pop it in the oven. And that is it. No rice, no fillers. It's just the cheese. Comes in 2 bars in a pack. It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for any time, anywhere. And because it's just the cheese, everyone will love it. So now for the best part, let's try them.
Let's try them.
Feel free to read the ingredient list. It's a quick read and short.
Different flavors?
Yep. Aged cheddar is our top seller. If you like stronger flavors, I'd start there. Grilled cheese is more mild.
Really good. I have to admit, I've had this before.
Really?
What?
Yes.
So that's a big plus. If the investor has tried your business or experienced it already and liked it, by the way, if they experience it and they don't like it, then that's going to be a problem. But it's important for brand recognition and for name recognition. And of course, we're going to get to the numbers because we always do. Let's see if the valuation there. He gave a $500,000 for 5% valuation. So he needs a massive multi-million-dollar sales effort in order to get an investment here.
I bought it on Amazon.
You are not alone with that. We sell between 400 and 700 boxes a day on Amazon.
It's very
I can't believe
cheesy.
it's so simple. How many calories per bar?
Per bar, 75.
That's it?
That's it?
And the package with 2 bars, 150 calories, 8 grams of protein. It's sugar-free, gluten-free.
Why can't anybody knock you off? I mean, you're doing something so simple. Anybody can do this, right?
Theoretically, yes, but there's a lot.
Kevin seems like he likes people with really tight patents and like more like of the IP, people who lean into the IP a little heavy. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he comes from a very heavy IP background himself. So it makes a lot of sense.
A lot of science that goes into cheese making, and we have some extremely talented cheese.
There's a ton of brands out there ahead of you. I think your brand is better. I love Just the Cheese. You're very direct, but there's like 3 or 4 big, gigantic companies that
Daniel, and they're Just Cheese also.
Yeah.
So there are 2 big competitors, both of whom have private equity overlords. One competitor also puts quinoa, brown rice, and oat bran in it. So it's cheaper and it tastes more like a cracker. For reference, we're usually ranked in like the mid 300s on all of Amazon grocery. They're ranked in the 18,000 range.
Well, all that matters is your sales. Tell us about your business.
Sure.
Here we go.
So last year we launched, first year in existence, we did $3.5 million in sales.
Hello. Wow.
Year to date, we are already at 3.7, and we still have 4 months of the year left.
And how many stores are you in?
700 stores right now, plus 1,300 from a prominent convenience store chain, 7-Eleven. I got my first POs today.
What?
So wait, you did 3.5 million year to date out of only 700 stores?
And Amazon. So
Plus, okay, break that down.
I will back up because I think chronology will help. And you always sort of keep an eye on the family business. So we had been tinkering around after we saw Wisps.
Oh.
So we talked to my dad about it and said, hey, we used to do something similar back in the 90s for the Atkins craze. When the Atkins craze died, the product cratered. So we looked at relaunching it, and my wife had the foresight to spot the keto trend. And when keto took off, we were pretty much the only game in town.
So did you raise any investment?
Nope, this family has self-funded this completely.
How much did you put in to get to this point?
We've probably invested a total of maybe $1 million.
What does it cost me to make? What do you wholesale it for?
It's big money
So
they
at
put
our
in.
current volume, 95 cents.
And what do you
If I
sell
get
it for?
$1.27, retailing for
Not a big
$1.99.
margin.
Depending on the SKU, we make between 17 and 20%.
That's it?
When we wholesale
Not a
it
big
to
margin.
a brick and mortar store, it's 25.
That's terrible margins.
What's the plan to make more margin on?
They either have to ramp manufacturing and secure more material. And in order to drive product cost down, cost of goods sold. It's called cost of goods sold, which is what goes into actually making a product. They either drive down their raw materials cost, or they have to increase their price, and that all depends on the consumer market and what they're currently willing to pay. But his margins are really small. This might tank his options right here. Literally, this might torpedo him because the margins are not that big. Although, you know, that's where you get a big gross number, like he said, 3.7 million, and you get very little money coming out on the back end, on the net end, and you have to have money to pay them back. They want to know how they're getting the money back, and if you can't come up with a good answer for that, and then there's going to be a problem. They're going to shoot you down like they're shooting a clay mortar.
So if I sell 40,000 boxes a month,
And what's the
at that
cost?
volume,
Yeah.
it would be 75 cents per at $1.27. So my margin increases substantially as I grow.
So there's the manufacturing play I was just talking about. You have to ramp manufacturing in order to drive margin down. It comes down to manufacturing. The question is, what is the cost to increase manufacturing going to be? And will that investment and capex of investing in increased manufacturing actually be enough without it becoming a money pit to drive down manufacturing?
If there was ever a royalty deal, this is it. Look,
Royalty? There's no way.
Yeah.
He's in stores everywhere.
Excuse
He
me,
doesn't
Lori.
need that.
I'd like to make an offer. Thank you.
Hey.
Who do I think is going to be out? Who do I think is going to be in? I'm sorry. I forgot to put this in there. So Mark is going to be out, I think. Robert Hershevek and Robert's going to be in, and what's her name? Lori is going to be in. Kevin is obviously in. He just made an offer. I'm late, of course, to the table. And the last guy, who said that he had a lot of competition. It'll be interesting. I'm going to predict that he's going to. I think this guy's going to get like 4 offers because right now it's 3.7 million in sales, and they would be interested to see if he's going to react. I think Mark is going to be out.
Look, I don't have a cheese provider in my portfolio. I have a lot of wine, cheese. You kind of get what I'm talking about here. I'll give you the $500,000, and I want a 20-cent royalty per bar, which is going to margin. Silence while I make an offer. He can decide whether he wants to take it or not. I don't need.
Here's the problem. He's currently selling his bars for, I think what did he say? $1. Main fact, I think he only had a 20% margin. He's making about 25 cents roughly, 25 to 30 cents a bar. If he gives Kevin O'Leary 20 cents, he's only making 5 to 10 cents a bar. That kills his margin. There's nothing in it for him at that point. And of course, remember, they have to also be able to pay bills.
The noise from the cheese factory back here. I'm trying to. I'll give you the $500,000 for a 20-cent royalty, and I will give you tremendous marketing leverage on this, because I think this could be a fantastic business if you can get more distribution.
With all due respect, I think that piggybacks off the hard work we've already done.
But I can add a lot of value here, bringing this into my portfolio and making you a Shark Tank company. And our interests are totally aligned. I'm only asking for a little cheese on my beak every time we sell a bar.
Look, I think you've done an amazing job getting it out there. I think you're probably one of the fastest 0 to million plus in sales we've had on the show. But I don't like the taste of it. It's not a knock on it. It's just a personal thing for me.
Yep.
So, only for that reason, I'm out, but I congratulate you on the success. I think Kevin's offer smells. I think he cut the cheese.
I was waiting for someone to go there.
I expect more
David,
cheese
here's
puns.
my thoughts. I think you have a superior brand, but farmers of cheese are looking and shopping around to see who would like them to make these products. So there's going to be more entrants. I just don't think there's space.
I was right about him being out.
Okay.
So I like your packaging a lot. I think it's really smart. It's really good. But I'm seeing so many places ads for things that are competitive. And I'm not sure who's going to wind up being the leaders in this. And for $500,000 at 5%, I don't feel solid enough to invest, so I'm out.
Interesting.
I'll give you another angle, and this is what dawned on me. At a $10 million valuation, even if you sell the company for $50 million and I get 5 times my money, my total upside is $2.5 million over $500,000. That's not enough for the risk that's involved. I just don't see a way to overcome that.
Problem.
So for
Simple
those
math
reasons,
problem.
I'm out.
I knew Mark was
All
out.
is not lost because the yellow cheese road leads back to Mr. Wonderful.
He's not going to do it. I doubt it. I doubt he's going to do it. And while this commercial plays, I'll explain why. It's because he's asking for too much in royalty. He'll counter with a drop in royalty price. We'll see what happens.
4 sharks are out. David has one offer on the table for his cheese snack company, Just the Cheese.
David, to be clear, I give you $500,000. I ask for 20 cents a bar as a royalty. I get no.
So he should negotiate to give him, let's say, 15 cents. If he wants Kevin O'Leary as a partner, he should negotiate a royalty of 15 cents until he gets his $500,000 back. And then that royalty drops to 5 cents or converts into equity down the road. That's probably the best way to do it.
No equity.
In perpetuity.
Absolutely. How else am I going to do this deal?
Perpetuity is a very long time.
It's a word I like.
So how flexible are you in the royalty fee itself and the term of the deal?
I'm not negotiating against myself.
I'm trying to come up with a reasonable deal on the fly.
I just gave you one.
David, make a counter.
Here, I'll help him. I'll give you $500,000 for 15 cents a bar.
Still perpetuity?
What are you going to suggest?
So I'd like to make a reasonable offer. So
Here
I'd
we
like
go.
a pen and paper because I don't want to make an offer that's insulting to any of you.
Here you go.
I think he's going to have that, as I mentioned, give them a royalty, have it drop after they recoup the 500,000, and then it changes or converts to equity, or it goes down to a low perpetuitous offer.
So if you were going to take
20
cents a bar,
Yeah.
you would get $360K based on my Amazon sales from last year.
Yeah.
That seems, for lack of a better word, nuts.
I like David. I really like David.
What's your counter then?
That's good.
Well, I'm looking at a nickel.
A nickel.
In perpetuity?
Nope, 10 years.
A nickel for 10 years.
Wait, how many bars did you sell last year?
Last year on Amazon, I did 1.
Someone is going to jump in on this deal. They're doing the math right now. They're going to jump in and undercut. This was dangerous for Mr. Wonderful to not put pressure on him early. Someone's going to cut him off. Watch. Mark might come back in.
Individual packages.
Well, I'm sticking at 15 cents until I recoup 750,000.
With all due respect, that puts too much short-term cash flow stress on the business. I can't be siphoning more and more cash out.
So David, I'll offer you $500,000. I want 15%, no royalty. Yes or no?
So while I respect both Kevin and Lori's offers,
I'm out.
You're out.
Oh, you're out now.
Okay, now you have 2 offers. What do you want to do?
with all due respect, I do appreciate that you were the first to give me an offer,
Yes.
but I'm going to have to decline.
I made that offer because of the tie. I like it.
So back to me, David.
15 is high for me, so I would ask if you'd consider 7.5.
No, because there's got to be enough upside for me. It needs to get to scale in order for it to be worth anything to anybody.
True.
And the difference between
Got to
8%.
scale. Manufacturing businesses have to scale. You have to go big with manufacturing. You have to get into enough stores, have enough outreach. You need a national presence, and you have to do it big. One of the companies that I'm the CEO of right now, the startup company, is a manufacturing company, and not scaling manufacturing. Yes, that comes with the territory of growing the business. That's obvious, but you have to scale your sales organization to get there. You have to have product going out the door. It takes time to build the sales organization. So that $500,000 is going to get applied almost immediately. And then there's going to be a lot of time ramping up that sales organization, hopefully not too much longer. It's a challenge that we're going through right now in my business. Let's see what happens.
In equity, if we get it to scale, is Bupkis.
It's a reasonable offer, but I'm going to politely and respectfully say no.
Fair enough. We wish you the best, David.
It was an interesting ride.
It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much.
So he got 3 offers. He rejected them all.
I'm feeling a little disappointed. My wife, my family, everyone
I don't
who
blame
pours their
him.
heart and soul into making such a great product. So I'm disappointed for them.
So that was interesting. Let's talk about it. So he felt like he didn't want to give away the farm. You have to protect free cash flow when you have a business that you are running. If you want to scale, if you want investors, you can't give away the farm in the short term because you feel pinched for the sake of the long term. You got to play the big game, the long game. And the long game is keeping as much equity as possible without giving it away to investors while you manage your cash flow and trying to grow the best you can with cash as you generate it or through maybe servicing debt. But you want to try your best to keep as much cash and equity into your company. So I don't blame him for not going that route. So another lesson learned: when you're looking for an investment from someone, try to make the terms as favorable as possible to keep equity in your business for as long as you can and cash flow in the short term. And don't sacrifice equity in the short term for the sake of the long term, because when you go and perhaps sell your business down the road, that whatever equity you give away so early could come back to bite you. So thank you for tuning in to this Common Sense Reacts on the Just the Cheese episode. And if you like what you're seeing in these episodes, don't forget to like and to comment and let me know, would you have made a deal for this business and what would your deal have been? I would like to hear from you. Just put the comment down below in the comment section. and I'm interested to hear from you. So, anyways, don't forget, if you don't go to work in your business, you're going to go to work on someone else's building their brand. Until next time, I'm Micah from the Common Sense Show. I'll talk to you later.